So now let's proceed. So now what we are going to do next is to generate this plot, the one here. What we are going to do next is to generate a stacked bar chart like we have here. All right. So let's get back to our studio and then continue from there. So again, we will come here and then we will just do this. I will put stacked bar chart. That's what we are going to generate next. Okay, it's also very, very, very interesting. So let's proceed with that. So let's do this. Okay, so we are going to generate a stacked bar chart. Okay, so here we are still going to use the real world data. So let's get back to the GitHub repo here. Let's get back here. We are going to use this data. All right, this data here. That's what we are going to use. So we can see it here. All right. I think I also have it already open here. We are going to use this data. Okay, so it's on GitHub. So that is where we visited recently. There's it. All right. So we are going to use this data and then generate the stacked bar chart that I showed. All right. So when you're on this page, all right, what I want to do is to come here. Let me repeat. The link to this page is in the description box. I repeat, the link to this GitHub repo is in the description box. So when you are here, come to raw and then right click and go to copy link address. Okay. Alternatively, you can click on raw. And when you click on raw, you will have this. So copy this link. I'll even make it available in the description box. So just copy this link. That's what we are using. Or you can also download it. That's fine. And then just import. If you are an expert in R, that's fine. But let's keep it simple. So let's get back to RStudio and then continue. So first of all, we need to import our data. Okay, so data URL with something like this, and then you'll bring your double quote or single quote, but let's use double quote. So the double quote here, in between, you paste your link there like this. Okay. Alternatively, if you are not comfortable, you can still make it simple. You can just say, when it comes to data URL, you bring your first double quote like this. Okay, your first double quote, and then just after it, you paste your link. And then after pasting your link, you add another double quote like this. So this is what we are going to get. All right, I repeat, this is what we are going to get. So we will need something like this. This is how it's going to be. I'll just go back again and change the font size so that we see how it is supposed to be done. So this is how it's going to be. Let's just check it out. Right. So you have this. You're going to have something like this, whereby you have a single or double quote. Here I'm using double quotes, so let's keep it this way. So you have your double quote, you paste the URL link, and then after the link has been pasted, you add another double quote to close it. So that's what you should have. All right. Now I'll revert back to my old font size so that the text becomes bigger for us. All right, so we have it done. Okay, so once you have it like this, then you can run the command. So this will create the URL. Let's just check here. I'll just make sure I have it here. Okay, so you run it. Yeah, so you should run it, okay, so that you have it like this, right? So now that you have access to the URL, then we can start some manipulations. Okay, so we need to make the data available. Now there's a URL. We need to get the data frame itself. So I'll say df, and I'll say read.csv, and I'll say data underscore URL. I'll have it like this, comma, and I'll say row.names equals 1. So let's run this. So we have it there. Again, you can still use your df to print to make sure we have it there. So you should have your rows and columns. All right, like this. Then for stacked bar charts, because we are going to use all this information, okay, we need to make sure that we have converted this data frame to a matrix. Okay, we need to have that also done. I repeat, we need to have this data frame converted to a matrix. Okay, so we will need to, let's say, convert data frame objects to matrix. So I'll say df equals as.matrix df. Now execute it. All right, so this is what I should get. Now if you want to confirm, you can just say class df. So when you run it, it should tell you matrix array. That means we've converted it. So this is what we need. All right, so let's proceed. So now we have our input data, but then we need to add something else. All right, now if you look at the df, okay, this is what we have. We have sample 1, sample 2, sample 3, sample 4. Okay, we are dealing with SNP counts, and for each of them, we have count for chromosomes. That's what we have here. Let's get back to the chart here. Okay, so we have for each sample, we have the count for chromosomes, chromosome 1 to 4. These are the ones that have been stacked. So we also need to make sure we have a way to distinguish between these chromosomes. So this is where the colors come in. Okay, so that means we also need to define colors that will be used to assign to these groups or these subgroups, if I can say it that way. So let's get back to the RStudio, and then let's also define colors. Okay, colors that will be used. Okay, so for colors, so for colors, we define colors to be used for the chromosomes. Okay, so I'll just say colors. I'll bring this one rather. I'll say C, that's vector, and then I'll just add it. So it was green, comma, and then we have what? Orange, comma, and we have brown, comma, we have blue. All right, so these are the colors. I'll rerun it again, and I'll print again just to make sure everything is okay. Perfect. So now I have what I need. Okay, so let's just plot. So to plot the stacked, we say barplot, and then we give our inputs, which is df. All right, comma. Now when we come to names, we also need to give names. All right, so let me actually even define that also here. All right, that's important. So here when we come to samples, that's the names. So samples, okay, let's define the sample names or sample IDs. Right, let's define them here. Okay, so here, let's say sample IDs or sample ID. Because to call names df. All right, so we'll give this, and if I print sample ID, I should have them like this. All right, So once I have them like this, then I can proceed. So for stacked bar charts, all right, for stacked bar charts, we plot basically the same. So we say bar plots, we specify the inputs like this. Okay, now I want us to keep it simple. Let's just do this one and let's see what happens. Let's run this. Then we are going to get this, right? So this is the basic stacked bar charts that we have. And of course, we need to add some additional information and then properly format them, right? So that's what we are going to do next, all right? So we need to even check all these things first here, okay? I'll just bring them here, okay? So let me just do this. So you will notice that here it was something like this, okay? Sometimes in R, if you do a plot and then the samples or the labels are shown something like this, what you can do is to enlarge the display section, okay, the canvas here. So when you enlarge it a bit, things will be shown for you, okay? Or sometimes you can change the font size also. That will also allow you to have it properly displayed. So sometimes you don't need to change font size or format any of the text in there like I did previously. You can just manipulate these ones here, then you get what you want. Okay, so let's proceed. So this is the, let's say, basic stacked bar chart. Now let's add the color. So if you want to add a color, the same bar plot df, okay, like this. And then what do? You then bring comma and you say color equals colors. We have already defined it. So let's run it. So when you do it, now you have these things here, okay? Now you will notice that the sample like this will automatically what? Shown. Okay, sample 1, sample 2, sample 3, sample 4, okay? So it was automatically shown. So that means we don't need to manually specify the sample IDs like we define here because they are shown here for you. If they were not defined, if they were not displayed, then you can add it. But this one, we don't need to add it because it's already there, right? So that one, we will keep it as it is. Now, what else do we need to add? We need to add labels, okay? X lab, Y lab. So again, add more information. So again, the same command, but this time, comma, let me say what? Y lab equals, let's start with the X lab. Okay, so X lab equals sample, Y lab equals what? Number of snips. So for the text here, that depends on you, all right? So you can have it like this. You can also say main equals snip count per chromosome, like this, all right? Again here, I'll bring it to the next line so that it becomes readable. So you can have it like this. So let's execute this command. Nice. So now we see how nicely it has been displayed for us. Okay. Now, one more thing. We have the stacks, all right, but then which chromosome is for which? We don't know. So we need to add that information. So this is where the legends come in. Okay. So we can say add legend to display colors for the chromosomes. Okay. So add a legend. So we say legend. And then we can define where it should be. I can say top left. So that means top left. And then, comma. Then I'll add chromosomes. Okay. Now here, we did not define the chromosomes. So you can put it here. You can say row.names into brackets df. Like this. Okay, row.names. okay, into bracket DF. That will give you the chromosome names. Okay, so we can do it this way. And then you can run it. So this will give you something like this. Okay, but when you do it this way too, you see, we still need to properly format them. Okay, so we have chromosomes, but where it is, it's still not okay. So we need to properly add some more information. All right. So I'll do this. I'll first define the chromosomes. All right. So I'll say chromosome, and I'll say row.names df. So to give me the chromosomes, then I'll now define it again. So add legend and properly format. So I'll say legend. I say top left, that's the location, comma. I'll say chromosomes, comma. Now add the CEX equals 0.7, comma, and I'll say fill equals colors. All right, so we have them like this. So we can now execute this command. So let's run it. Perfect. Now we see what we have here. Okay. Now we see that we have both legends, this and this order. It's because of the behavior of RStudio. So ideally, what we should do is to create a new plot and then execute this line. All right. So what we can do is to rather add a bar plot here. And then we add a legend. All right. So we just have to run. And then we now add the legend here. Perfect. So now we have it's done nicely for us. Okay. So this is a way to create stacked bar charts. All right. Of course, when it comes to the text, you know what you want to add or want to display best. So I'll just leave that to you.